Hi everybody. I wanted to come and visit you and say if you're in Canada or you're celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend like we are, happy Thanksgiving. And I made 2 pumpkin pies yesterday and we almost ate one already. That's not good, but it was good. Last night we had ice cream on it, and tonight I think we'll have whipping cream on it. And so, and because it's just the 2 of us, we bought one of these turkey breasts. That's all you get. So it's a one-night thing with stuffing, and I'll do some cranberries, and that'll be tomorrow because we're going to have pie for 3 nights. Excuse me, because we don't usually have desserts anymore, so it's a Thanksgiving treat. And what else is new? I want to take you for a orchid tour to see that now they're in from outside and they are all in my windows for the winter. I went outside to let the chickens out this morning. It was 33 degrees. It's getting cool. I think I brought them in a little earlier than usual, and I even brought the cymbidium into my painting room because it's big and it's the only place I really had room to put it. So I did that. So I'm going to show you how they're all doing. And I also, before I show you them, I want to discuss the water schedule. and if it, first, before I'll get this off first, let's see. As you know, I had this eye thing where for 2 months my bottom eyelid had curled over and all my eyelashes were on my eye. And of course, I was complaining. I'd had an eye appointment at one time. You know, where you get the whole works and they check your eyes. Nobody said anything. And I said to her, you know, this eye is kind of, it's hurt, makes it water. She says, oh, it's dry eye. Well, apparently she never looked real good, and neither did I, and didn't notice. So for like 2 months, I'm going around, and the bottom under here was swole up enough that it pushed my eyelids up and around, and all my eyelashes were rubbing on my eye. And so I had to wait 2 months to get back into the eye doctor, and I showed her. Oh, she said, it's all swollen, and that's not good because you can go blind. So I think I had told you that. And I had said something to Jack, and he says, well, put tape on it. So I had just bought normal tape. But since then, thanks for people telling me things, if you Google eye tape, it's a whole, oh, there's so many different eye tapes, and different people use them for different reasons. Some people use them for wrinkles, and well, anyway, I ordered some, and I'm going to show you what they look like. And they're very tiny, and you hardly notice they're on. And I can not have tape on it for a few days, and it'll be fine. And then all of a sudden, like this morning, it'll go back over and it'll beep. And now I have found there's an operation for it, which would mean driving to Kelowna at least 3 times. And it hasn't always worked for some people. Some people are on their 3rd try for it working. So meanwhile, the tape works really good. It feels normal when the tape is on. And you know, why put yourself through an operation? And I'm not really into, never in my whole life have I been a makeup person because I just didn't get into it. This is it. It's, you know, I just haven't. I don't wear eyelash stuff. I don't even own a lipstick. I have Lipsol. Once in a while, I'll put some powdered blush on. that is it. You know, if I'm going somewhere or something. That is it. And so I didn't even look at my eye that good for 2 months to find out what on earth was going on. But this tape is working, and the drive to Kelowna and leaving the dog and leaving the chickens and then it might not even work anyway, having an operation. So I'm using the tape, but I want to show you the tape, and I'll let you have a close-up of my wrinkly old eye and what it looks like. So first I'll give you a close-up. Let me see this eye. Can you see a Band-Aid right there? Oh, here he comes. Did you get a green egg?
Oh, you get eggs.
Oh, we got 2 eggs early this
Oh, I
morning.
thought it was going the other way. I wouldn't have come in this way. I thought you were looking at the bottles over there for some reason. Now I guess I have to
I
say,
was telling them about...
I guess I have to say hi now. Hi.
Yeah, I was telling them about
Yeah.
the eye tape in case somebody else needs
Sure.
help, right?
Sure.
So this is the tape that Jack, when we looked online, they had these little tapes, see? Now, right there, that is one, and these all roll out, and I've used those 2, but this is actually 2 tapes right here, and they're almost skin covered when they're on, and they're so tiny, they give you these little tweezers, and you just pick one off, and then you put it on your eye, and you just have to pull it a bit. And I also got these ones, they show these ones, they're cheaper. These are all very inexpensive, but the ones in this little heart thing work best. They stay on better. The other ones that were even cheaper. But these are so cheap. There's like hundreds of them on here, and they're so cheap. And people use them for, if your upper eyelid comes down to where your eyelashes come, it's hiding half your upper eye, people put them in the crease of your eye, and it stops that from happening. They're used for any people with eye troubles. People are using, you can get long ones, you can take back your wrinkles. I'm not into that, but I mean, I was amazed. If you Google or search, if you search eye tape, it's quite an education. And anybody that's having any kind of trouble like this, because apparently there's more of this out there, and why didn't the eye doctor tell me? She said, oh, she didn't know, and I said it was Jack's idea, and we did tape, and I feel normal. I don't know. Once that tape is on, you don't feel it anymore. Once you get it right, it takes a little bit of practice. You don't feel it, and you know. So that's it for that. Now, okay, let's get back to orchids. I know. We've been busy because tomorrow morning, even though it's Thanksgiving, all our yard compost bags have to be out in the road to be picked up, and we put them in the shed outside, so we can't get in the shed to get anything because it's full of bags, so we'll be glad we get rid of that. So that goes out. We'll either put it out later today or tomorrow morning. So I don't know, it seems like the days are going by so fast, and don't ask me what we're doing. And but anyway, before I show you my orchids, I want to talk about my water schedule. And I type it out, and I have sent it to some people, and I keep it just so that I can see both sides. And all you have to do is email me or ask me in the comments that you want and I'll put my email underneath the comments of this video. And if you want my water schedule, you can get it. Now I have had great success. I've been using it for at least 3 years, maybe 4 years now.
We're at 10.
more like 10. But the water schedule, it's been quite a few years, but they go by so fast. A long time I've been doing this. Now, I've had a lot of people say, oh, they actually are doing my water schedule and their orchids are doing good. Some of them never had flowers for 3 years and got flowers, and other people have had good comments because they couldn't grow any orchids and now they're growing orchids again. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, and if you want it, it's free. And so, like, it's just a 6-week schedule. And in other words, I'm watering once a week. And if it's summer or something and I'm watering twice a week, the second time I water in 1 week doesn't count for my water schedule. It would be just a water flush. So it's a 6-week water schedule. And the reason I want to explain this to you is because you don't necessarily have to follow the water schedule exactly. I do. I just have a piece of paper and I write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I cross it with another line, and that's my water schedule. And right now I'm on I just did week 2, I'll be doing week 3, and that's how I keep track, and I hang this on my fridge. And but if you don't want to do the whole thing, you might want to do one of the weeks, because fertilizer, I think, is given too much importance in your orchids. And a lot of times, a lot of the growers, a lot of people, and including me, when I do use the fertilizer, I use 1/4 of the recommended amount. And I'm only using bought fertilizer 2 watering days on my thing, on my 6 weeks. Of the 6 weeks, only 2 of those days are bought fertilizer. So you might want to consider the other things I'm doing that I think are better than the fertilizer, because this last summer things were crazy. Well, things have been crazy in this house since we had to put Mom in the home, and of course it was a shock on us all, and then getting used to, and then visiting her, and different things that just arose after that, all the work involved and changing things and all kinds of stuff. You know how it is. So my orchids actually got neglected this summer, and it was probably one of the nicest summers we've had, because we didn't have any fires in our area, which was nice, so we didn't have to deal with smoke. And we've had very little rain, but it hasn't been scorching hot. It was dry, seldom over 30% for the orchids out in the patio. So, but they didn't seem to have suffered. They seem to have done good. And I put them out every year, and I look at differences, and I start thinking, well, why did they do so good? I neglected them. Like some days, if say it's the day I'm supposed to do something like, say it's the first day and I'm going to use tea, and it takes a little longer than one week is just a water flush. 1 week of the 6 weeks is just a water flush. I may exchange those 2 days because I got an appointment or so, and I always change it back. But I've always followed this, and I think this schedule has been better than, say, use this fertilizer or don't use this fertilizer. You know, because the reason I wanted to talk about this, because I always say it's like early spring and then fall, or Easter and Halloween. So come Halloween, I'm always thinking about a fertilizer with a higher middle number. And lots of people don't agree with that and don't think it makes any difference. And over the years, I think it does. But right now, I don't have a fertilizer with a high middle number. I have some Repotme MSU that was given to me by a lovely subscriber, but it doesn't have a high middle number. And I have some that I'd ordered myself that does not have a high middle number. And I think I probably am going to go purchase some Schultz's or something. That's what I was using last time, and I used it all. For at least one of those 2 days of my watering, fertilizing part. I think what I'm going to do is next time I go out, I'll get some Schultz's orchid fertilizer with a high middle number. And I will also use one of the days that's that fertilizer, and then I'll use the MSU even though one day. And it's kind of good because it's still getting high number once a week, once in the 6 weeks, which is a month. And the other one, it's getting good for growth, because even now a lot of leaves and roots are, the high last number is for all over growth. So I guess what I want to say is, we just quickly go over this, and I say like week 1 of the 6-week water schedule is black tea. Now, I've read where there's different kinds of tea, but you want straight black tea. It's so hot, the tannins, similar to a group of polyphenols naturally found in the rainforest and naturally found in bark, leaves, buds, and roots. In the forest, rain flowing over the above feeds the orchids and encourages growth and rehydration. Also available in the black tea is nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, and magnesium. Now, I've heard other people say it, and I know it. Days when I do the black tea, I notice for a few days after, my orchids have liked it. So, is it necessary to always have the same fertilizer and no variety? It's like, do you want to sit down to the same dinner every night? I don't know. So anyway, because that pumpkin pie sure tasted good. So I'm just saying that might be like pumpkin pie to our orchids, just having that nice change of some black tea. And I was watering day. I put a couple tea bags in a measuring cup. My sink holds about 4 to 5 gallons of water, and I put a couple tea bags in hot water and let it get soaked in. I just dump it all in the water and make sure that it's not too hot or too cold, and that's how I did it. Then I also have some that's really easy to use, if you can find it, is just straight black tea crystals. And it's just black tea that they've made into a crystal, and it's instant. And it seems to work just as good. So I don't have that written on the schedule, but I do have a lot of little things written in about each thing that's in my water day. And week 2 and 3 is, oh yeah, I should add, I have CALiMAGic, which I found is very good, and Rick's orchids, he always said they're heavy feeders, so every growing season I give them a little more than normal. Like normal would be 1/4 teaspoon of CALiMAGic to a gallon of water, and I might double that, or even a teaspoon. and they still did good, but it makes their leaves healthy. And and when I soak my bark before I repot a new orchid, I always use CaliMagic in that, and seaweed extract made a big difference. So just if you're got orchids and you're new to them and you're thinking, hey, check out your kitchen cupboards, check out this stuff. It goes a long way, and I think this has been more important than the fertilizer. Seriously, I do. So 2 and 3 is a 1/4 teaspoon of CaliMagic to a gallon of water, plus the fertilizer, which I use a 1/4 teaspoon also. It's always a 1/4 teaspoon to a gallon with all my water schedules. So I use that, and so I do this for week 2 and 3 of the 6-week water. So then week 4 is Epsom salts. So now some people, when their orchids, they want them to spike or to bloom, they'll give them some CaliMagic. But all the time, summer, winter, whatever, I follow this schedule. And in week 4, I look at my schedule. I look at my little lines. Oh, it's week 4. Then I know I'm doing the 1/4 teaspoon of CaliMagic, and I'm doing 1 tablespoon of Epsom salts to 5 gallons of water. So it's still the 1/4 teaspoon of Epsom salts to a gallon, or if you've got a big tub of water that's 4 gallons like me, you can put in your tablespoon. So why Epsom salts? It will remove salt deposits from pots, roots, media, making bushier, healthier plant. It increases the chlorophyll, deters pests, and will help balance the pH. So these things do have their own benefits, different from the fertilizer. So then week 5, that's my just water flushing. They get nothing, they just get water. So if there's a day I went and made an appointment on orchid watering day, I could change it. I could say, oh, I'll just do a water flush today, and I'll do, whatever thing the next day. So I'll just exchange. If I was supposed to be doing seaweed extract, I'll say, oh, well, I'm going to do the water flush, and then I'll do the seaweed extract next time. So I go back onto my water schedule. So that's just water flushing with nothing. It helps build up salts and fertilizers for your pots. So week 6 is my last of the 6-week water schedule, and that's seaweed extract, and that is a game winner. I use the 1/4 teaspoon to a gallon of water, and I also have my CaliMagic, which is used every day except the water flushing day. And it is like the black tea. You notice how happy they are with it. So it has many major and minor nutrients, amino acids, and growth promoting substances. Auxins and cytokinins and gibberellins enhance root growth, and definitely good when repotting. So I just wanted to go over that, and you can ask me in the comments or send me an email at Carolyn Orchid Friends, and I'll put that down below the comments so that if you want to know. So now I'm going to show you how they made, and I've got spikes. This is early for spikes. Usually I'm surprised I have spikes in November starting. Now I have spikes in October. I think there's at least 7 that I've noticed. So I'm going to grab the camera and take you for a tour. Okay. There. I have to be careful when I do this that I don't disrupt things. Okay. There we go. Come out of my corner where I am. So this is a north window, and this is one orchid up here, this one. Now it flowered all summer, and it has lots of leaves. It had a beautiful rusty orange, dark colored flower all summer. And so it's in the north window, and that's where it was before. And the roots are doing good. So I have one fish here for humidity, and I have to kind of tip them because otherwise I end up with moisture where I don't want moisture. So I have humidity because now the furnace is starting to come on. And here, and my little slipper orchid has some new growth coming. It did flower, and I wanted to look better, but at least it did flower, and we're doing good. And I do have my Hoya in this window. I thought it wasn't getting enough light. I haven't had flowers on it yet. It's about 4 or 5 years old, so maybe soon, maybe. So that is the one north window, and I have the lights on still. I usually turn my lights on at night after supper when it's getting dark, and in the morning because we get up early at 5:30, and I give them some light then. Okay, now we're going to go look in the other north window. So I have a small traffic cone here. And they're doing good. Oh dear, somebody's calling me. Okay. I don't think, there might be some spikes up here, but I don't think so. Oh boy, I think I better go turn that off. Oh dear. Okay, just a minute. Sorry everybody. This is, you gonna get it? Thank you. Jack's gonna get it. There. So here, I think there's quite a few spikes. This is a brighter window, and I have a light up here. And I added that. We have some on the side, but this one it was brighter, not so I have it on. And the traffic cones are doing really good. They always have. I have a spike on this one. I put 2 in one. The leaves are doing really well. I put 2 orchids in here. This one has a spike, and over here there's 2 spikes coming. That's one in the back. And they're doing good, even though I have 2 in the one traffic cone. And some people say, well, what's a traffic cone? Well, it's those things out in the road that are red and fluorescent, and I turn them upside down, drill holes, and paint them. That's a traffic cone. They have always done good in them. It's just they're a little more awkward to look after. And in the back, of course, this is the one that had 4 spikes that I just repotted not too long ago. And this is Mini Mark here. She seems to like lots of sun. Her roots are doing good. And so there's a big spike coming here. And this one these are the leaves that grew this last year. And so there is a little spike coming in here. The leaves all grew good, even with very poor humidity. I mean, this is growing with no grow room. This isn't living in a temperature that's always the same. This is like suffering like we do when the temperature's up and down. So this is, of course, the one I just repotted that used to be in the other vase, and it seems to be doing good. And here, this is a very old one I've had for years. It's had many flowers on and off, and it has a spike. Where are we? Right there. And it's just a clay lamp. We cut the bottom off of them, filled with bark when I didn't have many. But I am happier with the glass. I really am. Now, in the back, it's hard to see it, but that one back there does have a little spike coming. So in this window, they're doing pretty good. And the same with the lights. They go on in the morning, and then that should be off, but I turned it off so you know, get a good picture for the video. So I put them back on. So I have some house plants here and there. Not a lot because, you know, I have so many orchids and I can't overwork myself, you know. So that's that. Now we're going to go in here. So here I still have my Christmas plants. And I have my, oh, goodness, brain fart, I don't remember what that is. Isn't that terrible? You know, it'll come to me in a minute. It'll come to me in a minute. You know what it is. It's embarrassing. So anyway, here I have this pot that amazes me because it is full of holes. It's not deep. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 orchids in this pot. And they've done really well. They were all one side that were dying, and I thought I'd throw them in there, and here we are. So now this is one of the twins, and it's the one in the pot. I'm taking it out when I get a chance. They were both orchids, and the other one's in a glass vase, and it's doing absolutely fine. So all the oncidiums are here in the west window, and they have spikes on them. This one has one big one and one in the back, and this one has a spike coming there and back in here. This is the one I'm waiting for, this one, hoping it spikes. And the little one that I moved from the cup is here, and I had it in a like cup and saucer pot. Never did anything for 4 or 5 years, so I'm trying it in glass and had just moved it over. So, and then over here, these are the traffic cones. Now, they're still very happy in the traffic cones, but they are more work. I got to get them into the shower and out of the shower, and they've been in here for years. And some of them have many, many leaves. And this one here has a spike coming. And this is the one that broke, and this was the mother plant. And this was the basil keiki that grew. And it had such beautiful leaves, but look, I'm so sad. It just went. I popped it against the wall, putting it in the shower, and it split. But this one too, so there was a rough spot underneath. I don't know if you can see that. You can see that. It's just tending to be dry. So I'm sorry to see that, but I still love it. So, but they are doing good in the traffic cones. And of course I have my cactuses, and this little dendrobium has a few little shoots coming. Now they won't flower on ones where there's old nips where they flowered, but on new ones that have none of these from old flowers, they will reflower on those. So I see a couple coming. So, oh, lucky bamboo, right? Lucky bamboo. Okay, now I'm going to take you in to show you the cymbidium. Okay. I may have to just put my hand over the camera for a minute while we walk in here. There. This is my painting room. And this is where I put the cymbidium. Now this is a southwest window and it gets a lot of sun. But one reason it might like it, but I didn't want it to freeze, and it is getting close to freezing, so I'm leaving it. It's right near the window. It'll get cool air at night, and this room's a little cooler in the evenings. So I'm hoping that and this is where we built the queen size bed, and it's on the wall now, and it's so nice. It's my painting room. So I'm not painting right now because I have other things to do, but pretty soon. And there we go. So, hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving, and love you all. See you soon. Bye.